Queen, fabulous. Let's talk about it.
I'm Queen,
And I'm fabulous.
and we're here to talk about it.
Yes,
The,
today
the,
we're going to talk about the state of
the
family.
state of family.
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 Family, family, family.
Oh boy.
So, family is just not what it is today.
No.
And I was even sitting back thinking, was it really that different? Because I want to talk about some things that may be controversial to some, but relatable to everyone. I'm gonna just say this. Recently, I had a death in my family, right? And my kids brought to my attention that they didn't know her. And I was feeling bad. Because I was like, Kia, you wrong for that. Were you wrong? Am I wrong? I'm going to tell you why they didn't know her. Because she was hateful. She was negative, and she was a really, really, really hateful person.
Okay.
And it wasn't until a few moments ago off camera the Lord used you, and you ain't even realize it. You said sometimes you gotta guard your heart from people.
Yeah.
And that was my intention, is to guard their heart from her, because it was just dysfunction in the sense of we couldn't even come together without the negativity.
Right.
And when you bring that negativity into the room, it spreads, and arguments used to always break out. And as a child, I didn't have an option to leave, right? Because I'm a kid. But when I got older, I made the choice to separate myself.
Okay.
And I separated myself, and it was a generational thing. So she was my great aunt, right? But she is my grandmother's sister, my mother's mother's sister. And then it kind of trickled down to my mother and her siblings.
Okay.
They can't be around each other for 10 minutes.
Oh my goodness.
Without an argument breaking out. So I stopped going to a lot of the functions, and thus my kids also, because I wasn't bringing them up in that kind of a household. I wanted different for them. I wanted them to, know what love is really like, and you can come together in love and have a good time. You can't even share a meal.
Exactly.
I want to talk about family today.
That's fine, because you know what? Everybody's family isn't the perfect family.
No.
We have a lot of dysfunction in families. Whether it be mom, whether it be daughters, whether it be brothers and sisters or whatever. There is no perfect family.
No.
And people don't want to talk about the dysfunction.
Yes.
I was watching. I follow this young lady. I don't want to call her name because she's a blogger.
Okay.
And she doesn't get along. Well, her and her mother are estranged. And she was explaining how, people say things like, you need to love your mother, you need to try to get along with your mother, suppose death comes and then but when I thought about it,
Right.
I said to myself, every family isn't alike.
Nope.
And we have to respect that.
Yes.
So if she says that her mother triggers her in certain ways, that it's best that she stay away, then maybe it's best that she stay away, and we need to respect that.
Yes.
Because everybody, just because you're a mother don't mean you're a good mother.
That's it right there. Yep.
Or a father, or whoever. It don't mean that you're good.
Right.
So let's look at the whole dynamics of the family.
Right.
We got to start from the beginning. Adam and Eve.
Yes.
God created man and all of that. And even in their family, it was dysfunction. So it started in the what? It started in the garden.
In the garden.
So we have to stop, looking down on people because they say, well, I don't get along with my father, or I don't get along with my mother. We don't know the core of what's going on in their relationship.
Yes.
And we got to respect that.
You really do. And respect the decision, and don't be so judgmental.
Exactly.
Because, I get the questions, Kia, why don't you come around?
Exactly.
And it's like, then next breath, you won't believe what happened.
Exactly.
That's why
You don't go around. I don't blame you. Because who wants to be in chaos?
And that's what it is.
Listen, when we go into a situation, we go in peace.
Right.
And if we go into a situation where there is no peace, that means that whatever is going on is going to interrupt our peace.
That's it.
And
That's
I
it.
know I don't like that. I don't like when
That's
people
it.
interrupt my peace.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because
Yes.
I come,
Yes.
we come in love. We come in peace. We don't
Right.
come in war.
No.
But a lot of families I saw, even on, oh my God, on TikTok,
Mhm.
and those, where the girl was fighting her grandmother,
Right. Right.
swinging on her
Grandmother.
grandmother.
Yep.
Who does that?
People today. This is what I mean.
And we talking about families,
Family.
grandma,
Family. Blood family.
and I mean she was beating on her grandmother like she was a stranger.
Right. Yes.
Who does that?
Right.
You
Right.
see what I'm saying? So yeah, we need to talk about
need to
this,
talk
guys.
about it.
Let's talk about it. Come in the comments.
Right.
Let's see what you got to say on
Your
it,
thoughts
because
on your family. 'Cause
absolutely,
it's relatable.
it's got to be relatable. Now we're not saying everybody's family is dysfunctional,
Right.
because we do have families that are.
What it should be, I guess.
Well,
I
yeah.
mean, are
maybe
they though? Because
that's what I'm
you
trying
get
to
some that pull the
trying to-
blanket over.
trying to get
Right.
the right word here,
Right.
because I believe that everybody's
Everyone.
family got a little
They
dysfunction
do.
in it.
And you want to know why? Because I'm no expert, right?
Yeah.
I'm no expert, everyone.
We're not.
You gotta, you know, everyone isn't conceived in love.
Right. Right. Absolutely.
And when you're not conceived in love,
Absolutely.
it produces, or it can produce, a hateful
Exactly.
person.
Exactly.
Where it's like, where did they get
It
that
doesn't-
from? Because their mother ain't act like that. Their
Exactly.
father didn't act like you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like they
Exactly.
weren't raised that way, but
Exactly.
you gotta think about that.
Exactly.
They weren't conceived. Some people were conceived in chaos.
Exactly.
So they breed chaos. This is
Exactly.
they are chaos.
Exactly.
They're not like everyone else in
They're
the
not.
family. You
They're
know,
not.
they're
They're
their
not.
own individual person.
Exactly.
But they're family. So what do you
Exactly.
do? I love from a distance.
You have to be able to say, listen, I really don't want to be a part of
No.
that. And it's okay. When we say things like that, that makes us look like the bad person.
Right, right.
But it's okay to have your own opinion, your own feelings, and you don't want to bring your children's. And I was just thinking about when you said that about the children, you don't want to bring your children
No.
into stuff like that, because that can be traumatizing.
And I was.
You can be traumatized behind that.
Right, I
You know what I
was.
mean? Because mama, why is auntie acting like
Right,
that?
right.
And then see, spirits travel. And then if we go to the spiritual end,
Right.
spirits do travel,
Right,
guys, out
yes,
there.
yes,
You know what I
yes.
mean? And you wind up having, a good child when you left the house, but when you bring them back, they're a whole different person.
A whole different person.
Different
It's
attitude,
true. It's
different
true.
spirit.
Yeah, yeah.
So it's best
Yes.
that you guard your children from any kind of chaos. Now we can't be with them 24/7.
No.
We know that we can't protect them from everything, because if they don't get it on the inside, they're gonna get it on the outside.
It's so true. It's so true.
You understand what
It's
I'm
so
saying?
true.
And I remember one thing, Fabulous, and I'm gonna turn it back over to you. I remember one time when we went somewhere. I forgot where we went, and it was a family function, and the people were really acting up. And I remember asking my mother, "Are they kin to us? They kin to us, Mom?" Because I had to sit back and look at how these people was acting.
Right, because you're not used to it.
I'm not used to that. I'm not used to my mother acting like that. I wasn't used to my father acting like
that's
that.
what I mean. That's what I'm saying. That's
You
what
know
I'm
what I'm
saying.
trying to say?
Yes, absolutely.
So my household wasn't perfect, but it was peaceful.
Right.
I didn't see my mother and my father fighting, arguing,
right.
and all of that. Never,
Right, right,
never. And when I
right.
say never, I mean never.
Right.
Did I ever see my mother and father ever arguing, fight in front of us?
See?
And God is my witness.
See?
So when I see it in other people's families, I can't relate.
Yeah, yeah. See,
I can't relate.
for me, I had to make the decision that it stops here.
Right.
Like, I wish my parents, because it was both sides, right?
Right.
I wish they would have been the ones to say, you know what? we're not going and we're not bringing her.
Exactly.
But as a child,
Exactly.
you don't have a choice. You're going to this family reunion. You're going to this cookout. And I
Exactly.
used to really think and wish, like, I wish they made a decision
Exactly.
not to go, because year after year, Thanksgiving, Christmas, they got
Exactly.
together.
Exactly.
They made the plans and you know, made it happen, cookouts. But I really wish we didn't go, and I had to make the decision. You know what? It stops with me
Exactly.
because I need to create an environment that's emotionally safe
Exactly.
for these kids. Because you're right, they leave one way and come back
Exactly.
another way, and that's it's just not cool.
And it's not cool
It's not
at
cool.
all.
Like,
And, you
no.
know, you have enough problems when they go to school
Right.
and get around all those different
Right.
spirits. And now you trying to understand, well, I did send my son to school with a hat on. What happened? He didn't come back with one. You know, I mean, I'm being telling you the truth, you know,
Right.
because something happened, transpired while he was away. You
Yes.
understand what I mean?
Yes.
So, listen, even now we're gonna take it right here.
Mm-hmm.
Even on, you know, yesterday when we was with family,
Right.
we was with family on yesterday,
Right.
and there was a family member that really acted really, 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 really ugly
Mm-hmm.
toward us for no reason at all.
No reason.
And so, how do you handle that? How do we handle bad behavior
Right.
when it comes to family members that, you know, you ain't done nothing to them?
Nothing.
Only thing you want to do is show love. And you know, and you don't even have to be in their space.
No.
They don't even have to be in your space, but we can be cordial and be nice to one
Right.
another.
Right.
And we had an incident that turned kind of ugly yesterday, and family. It was family,
Yeah. Family.
you know, and it really
Family.
kind of hurt my heart, and you know, it kind of hurt me a little bit because you know we shouldn't be acting
No,
like
it shouldn't be
that.
like that. God didn't ordain this.
Not at all.
And that's why I have to bring it back to man.
Right.
It was man's fault to not put thought into who you lay down with and conceive with.
Exactly.
Something that needs to
hon.
be kind of studied.
That
Like,
is absolutely correct.
He
You know what I
ordained
mean?
it like this?
He really didn't.
No,
And
we
we
did
didn't,
it.
We didn't pick and choose who our parents.
Right.
You know, we didn't.
Right.
We couldn't pick who we wanted for a mother,
Right.
or who we wanted for a father.
Just born into
God,
it.
just, you know, just allowed it to be.
Right.
You know what I mean? And so when we have family members or you know, there's a chaotic situation in the family, we have to step back and just try to figure out, well, where did this come from?
Right.
How is it
instead
that,
of letting it go. Because that's what, like, the generations before me is guilty of. Let it go. She's just having a bad day. She's just, or he's, you know how he is.
Oh,
And this, I just wish they could have confronted it. You know what I mean?
That's
Like,
why we have to confront it.
yes, yes.
You know,
yes,
like I did yesterday.
Yes. Yep.
You understand?
Yes.
We're not gonna see. I'm not gonna keep pacifying the situation.
Right.
Sometimes
right.
you have to deal with the situation because it's not going nowhere.
No.
You know what I mean?
Because it's family.
It's family. It's family, so it's not going nowhere, and you have to confront it.
Yes.
I don't care if it's one time or 1,000 times. You got to confront the situation. You understand?
Right,
And for
right.
any family member, I don't care who it is, to treat another human,
Right.
mother, their mother. You know, I mean, if they had done that to my mother,
Man.
it would have been a problem.
Absolutely.
It would have been a serious problem.
Absolutely.
If my daughter or
Right.
my son
Exactly.
had did it to anybody's mother, it would have been a problem.
Absolutely.
And my kids are well grown.
Absolutely. They know better.
They know better.
Right.
You know
Just
what I
way
mean?
to
They're
carry
not
yourself.
perfect either.
No. But you
They're not
carry yourself in
perfect.
decency.
There you go.
Like, it's a
There you
respect
go.
factor. Like, you don't be out there embarrassing
You don't
me.
do
You know,
that.
that's
You don't
embarrassing.
do
I would be
that.
embarrassed
You know
if
what?
that was my child.
I think the mother was
I
very
would really be embarrassed.
She was really, really embarrassed.
You know,
and,
you stay by yourself, collect yourself. Don't
Yeah.
come around other people.
Don't
No.
do that.
You don't go pull
Don't.
the sunshine and light out of the room.
Exactly.
Because that's what that energy
Exactly.
is. No
Exactly.
joke. When I tell
Exactly.
you, I remember as a child where everyone will be happy, right? Everybody's laughing and getting along, and I'm playing. I'm a kid, right? But you can feel the shift in the room, and I
Yeah.
didn't quite understand.
Yep.
But I knew it was a something's different,
Exactly.
and you just see darkness.
Exactly. No, you're right.
That person
Oh,
arrived.
here they come.
Now everybody got to
Oh
shift their
man,
attitude. It
here we
shouldn't be
go.
like
Here we
that. This is
go.
Christmas.
Oh my
This is
God, how many
Thanksgiving.
times did that happen?
It shouldn't
Boy.
be like
Or
that.
you know they're coming in and now you gotta find another spot to
Yeah, you gotta
stand
make
in. Oh, you
adjustments.
gotta move around a little bit.
Right.
Because people
No.
don't want you
Mm-mm.
interrupting their peace.
It's not
They don't
fair.
want you coming in there, being a Debbie Downer.
Right. Right.
Always coming in. Of course we all have valley days. But Jesus Christ, every day is a valley day for
Every
you?
day. When
You
I tell
miserable
you
every day?
every day, it was
It's
every
a problem.
day. Like I said, she passed away, right? And it's gonna be interesting.
Uh-huh.
Because when I tell you every day,
Really?
I wanna see what people have to say.
Right, and see that's the other thing. That's
Lord,
the
forgive
that's
me, I'm
the
wrong, God, please
that's the
forgive me.
other thing.
I'm dreading.
Yeah.
I'm dreading this one.
That's the other thing
I'm
because
dreading.
when you have to listen. My mother always told me if you can't say something nice, don't say nothing.
Right.
So maybe it's best that nobody says anything if they
That's
feel
what
that way.
and it would be fitting.
know?
Lord, I'm not being mean, y'all. I'm just being transparent and real.
Mhm.
If it ends up being a quiet funeral with not even a song
Right,
sung,
right.
it would be befitting because that's how she carried herself. Now, I don't know what happened. I don't know. Maybe it's a
Right.
conversation I need to have with my grandmother because she's not like that. It's like night and
Right.
day, right? And maybe I need to ask. I'm gonna find out because
Yeah.
like what happened?
Exactly.
What happened that you can be this way? I mean, even
Exactly.
during happy moments, nothing.
You know what? Fabulous. Sometimes people carry themselves because they're jealous. Jealousy will cause you to be transparent in a
Mm,
negative way. It's just what it is. You know what I mean? Some people, and we talk about this all the time. When you're not happy with you,
right.
you try to deflect that unhappiness on somebody else.
Yep.
You see, and
Yeah,
that's
that's
not
true.
good because, I'm gonna be happy, and you're not responsible for me being
Right.
happy. I'm responsible for me being happy.
Yes. Yep.
You know what I mean? So I have to. If you walked in the room and I know you had a bad attitude or you having a bad day and have a bad day for the whole year, and I know that's what's going about to happen. Only thing I can do is say how you doing and just keep it
Keep it
moving.
moving. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
let you go ahead and have your bad day. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because we're not responsible for people's happiness.
You know what? Maybe that's why they moved away. Now you see, you just helped me out again. Because
Yeah.
it was never addressed. Just leave her alone. And
Right,
it's like
right,
that's
yeah.
not fair.
Right, I understand, but it is
Why come?
it is what it is,
But you know what? That's what for the sake of being able to get together. Maybe
Exactly.
that's why
And a
they
lot of
just
times people are jealous of the family, of
right.
how we're getting along, how our relationship is, growing and prospering, and they don't want it to be.
Right,
So
right.
there could be a whole lot of dynamics, a whole lot of moving windows in this year. So we have to, look at it and say, you know what, God, thank God I'm not like that.
Yes, listen, I have,
I'm just not like
like,
that.
I wouldn't want people to think of Fabulous and be like, ugh, I don't want
Exactly.
to be
I
around
don't want to be
her.
around her. Oh no.
Here she come.
Let me
You
say
don't
this to
want
you,
that.
Fabulous, and I'm going to be very transparent when I tell you because people used to say that about me, and I talk about, how, I had a lot of bitterness. It was just bitterness from, hurts and people hurting me and, relationships with the kid's father, and we didn't, all of that. It was a lot going on, and
Mm,
I didn't know how to handle it. I didn't
right,
know where to put it. You
right,
know what I mean? And even though my mother and father try to help me, I wasn't helping myself.
right,
You see
right,
what I'm saying?
right.
And you got to help
I
yourself. You
do.
know what I
Yeah.
mean? And I had to realize that it wasn't my mother's fault. It wasn't my father's fault. It wasn't God's fault. It wasn't even my fault. It
Right,
just happened.
right,
You know
right,
what I mean?
right.
Life just was life, and that's
Mm-hmm.
just what it was. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And until I started taking a deep look into myself and looking, and then on yesterday, I seen myself through this individual that was acting
Wow.
ugly, and I said, "That's exactly how I used to be
Wow.
looking and
Wow.
acting with people.
Wow.
I'm talking about in the house of God. I was bitter. I was mean.
Wow.
And that's what I saw in her. That's the reason why I went out and spoke to her, because I'm not going to let her spoil my day because
Right.
she having an ugly day.
Right.
But I
Right.
seen myself in her. I mean, it was
Wow.
ugly. And
That's big.
I was embarrassed
I mean,
for
that's big
me.
to admit it though, because
Oh,
most
of
people won't admit
course.
it.
You
So,
know what? I gotta say what was right.
right,
I wasn't perfect.
right,
I always use my testimony because if I can help somebody, I'm gonna help somebody.
right.
Listen, I ain't have it together for a lot of years.
Mhm, mhm.
You know what I mean? And people still hold it against me to this day. But that's okay because I know I've changed
Right,
in
right,
many ways.
right.
And I've come a long ways from that.
Mhm.
But I seen myself in her yesterday. I said, that's exactly how I used to act. And I kept looking because I said, wow, they really look ugly. It's not don't look good.
Mm.
You know what I mean? You have to.
It's
Let
true.
me tell you something, fabulous, and then if you can close this out or whatever. I'm gonna tell you that this is the reason why people walking around here today with a falsehood. That's why they're walking in falsehood,
Mhm.
with masks on and fooling everybody and walking in facades because they won't tell the truth.
Yep, that's it. That's
People
it.
don't like to tell the truth on themselves,
Right. On themselves.
but
Right. Right.
they'll try to tell your truth.
Absolutely. They'll know everything
You know,
about
oh
you.
well, they'll talk about
Yeah,
you,
it's
your
true.
family, your
It's
husband,
true.
your son, your daughter.
Yep.
But when you start turning the tables back on them, they won't open up. They won't say nothing. They look
Nope.
at you like you're talking French. You got a son out there cutting up too. You got a
Listen.
daughter over here cutting
Mm,
up too.
mm, 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 mm,
But you
mm.
so busy worry about mine. Worry about yours.
Right, right. And that's something I always believed in. Be careful with how you put your mouth on other people's
You
kids,
better believe
because
it.
you could be raising a serial killer. And I'm laughing, but it's the truth. Like
How many people say that
you don't know
today
what you're
that
raising.
their sons are serial
That's
killers
what I
and they
mean.
didn't know.
Right, right. You just don't know.
You
So
don't
it's best to keep your
know.
mouth off of people, kids.
It's best to do
Don't try
that.
to predict what
There you
somebody's kid is
go.
gonna
There
grow up
you
to be,
go.
because
There
you'll
you
be
go.
raising that very thing.
There you go.
So
Be very careful and
let's talk
we
about it.
need to really
Yeah.
be careful and try to
Yes.
help. Let's help one another.
Right.
Let's be more, conscious of, even though, you might not be in that situation, very well might be one day.
It might.
And
Yes.
let's
Yes.
know,
That's
we
what I
don't know.
mean. Right.
We don't know.
You
So
really don't.
when life started life and it just lives.
It's
And
so.
there
It's
ain't
so
nothing you
true.
can do.
It is so true. And
Uh,
life is definitely
it's
life, man.
life and sweetheart. And thank God we have Christ in our lives that
Right.
helps us get through situations and stuff. But see, there's people that don't have Christ in their life, and what they do, they try to handle it on their own, and they
And
make a big mess. You
and boy, I'm
understand?
guilty of that in the
I
past.
two hands up, God.
Just making a mess on top of mess.
Oh my
Just trying to do it on my own.
Can't do it on our own.
No.
We need help. We
Yep.
need help. Listen, guys, I hope you enjoyed
Yes.
our topic for today. What was it, Fab?
Family, the state of family
The
today.
state of family. See,
Right.
I just jumped right in and started talking without
Mhm.
hearing what the topic was.
The state of
I
family.
love talking about real stuff.
Yes. it
This
needs
is
to
real
happen.
life. And I hope you guys are enjoying what we're putting out. I hope that you're, listening and coming back and sharing and liking and
Yes.
what's that word? Subscribe.
Subscribe. Like, share, and subscribe, and watch the
Please
videos.
help us out, okay?
Yes.
Help us out. And if you have anything you want to say, put it in the comments.
Somebody did put something. What's the channel? So this is like a podcast. Queen
Yes.
Fabulous, let's talk about it. We come together every week and we talk about real life issues that's relatable.
Yes. So we would like you to come back and join us again. I can't see your name.
Yeah, it's not. It's in a different.
Oh, okay. You come
I'm sorry, I don't know your name, but hi. Come back.
Come back and join us again, okay? All right. Listen, we're gonna get up out of here. We'll be on next Monday
Yes.
at 12 noon. Please come through and like we said, we like,
share,
and
and subscribe.
subscribe, and we would certainly appreciate it.
Yes.
Listen, we love you. Don't forget about my beautiful candles. You can find them on Amazon.com and Etsy. And guess what, guys? We coming up with new candles. Fabulous. Tell them about it.
Oh, these new candles are gonna be awesome. I'm
Oh
gonna have
my
to make sure I get
God.
some because I know they're gonna go.
Oh
It's
yeah.
gonna be different pictures there. I mean, the picture is beautiful as you can see, but these next ones coming,
Oh
and they're
my
gonna be
God.
scented.
They're
So
scented, guys. Apple,
be on the
cinnamon,
lookout.
and lavender.
Yes, from Judy's heart to
From
yours.
Judy's heart to yours. So just stay with us, hang in there with us, and great things are getting ready to really, really take place. Well, we're already doing great things,
Right.
but the greater is coming.
Yes.
All right. So listen, until next week, we love you, and don't forget, we have also, what's the other channels?
What your J Renee
Yeah,
style?
Jerry Nay Style.
Yes.
You know, I'm on Monday through Sunday.
Yes.
Woo, boy, that's a lot of days, but I want y'all to catch me, okay?
Yeah.
And so come on through Monday through Sundays. You can catch me up. All right. Listen, we love you so very much. I am Queen,
And I'm fabulous.
and we'll see you next week if the Lord's will.
Bye.
Bye.